kidnapped, and it's like, bro, it's not.
You'd be all right.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Especially her.
Yeah,
she's bigger than the average man.
None of that can happen.
Right, but it's less common.
What's up with
and
these
so
bull
I
rings?
think that whenever there's a negative situation,
With these what?
I said I don't know what's up with these girls in bull rings, man. Like that shit is not attractive.
Not at all. You look like
Fucking
witches.
terrible, bro.
Literally, like actually, witches used to wear this.
They're for
Demons.
eating pussy.
They're for eating pussy?
This piercing?
Yeah.
It's so it hits
Oh, it touches the clit?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, okay.
But what the fuck? Well, these chicks, I mean,
they don't know that.
bisexual.
It's all style. They don't know.
Yeah, they probably don't know that.
and it involves a man, like the disposition that a woman is going to have is going to be negative towards the man.
So, at what point does that kind of become like just, abuse or man-hating?
That's also a good question. I feel like if
why is it not stereotypical? See, when you generalize women. Imagine if I went around like assuming that every woman was going to trap me with the baby, or every woman is going to use me for my money. Then you're going to call me misogynist. But all these women are going around thinking that on the first date that they're going out with serial killers. Is that not stereotyping and generalizing and hating men, thinking that you need to walk around with the taser even if you look like her? You're going to be fine for the most part, but you're applying the minority to all men. That's racist. If you did the same thing, that's like when white people cross the street when they see black people. They call you racist for that. And so white people like have to be like, I'm not scared because you can't act on.
I cross the street when I see black people.
Bomboka!
if it's something that you're being like intentionally,
I'm always ready.
Oh no.
I'm always ready.
Hateful, if you're intentionally trying to hurt someone, or if you're being intentionally androgynous, then that's whenever it like crosses the line.
Yeah, if you're not trying to have a debate or a conversation, at least by some sort of facts, and you're just bringing in your full opinion, in a sense of like using insults, that's when it can be man-hating, and especially and vice versa from women-hating.
If a man can impregnate multiple women a day, why would women consider themselves the creators of life?
I guess because in the end, they're the only ones who can bring about life.
Well, a man can repopulate an island full of women. Can a woman repopulate an island full of men?
No.
So don't men create more life?
They do, unless the woman has a choice to end it.
True. Okay. What is a surrogate?
Somebody who has somebody else's child.
I've read that scientists are developing an artificial womb to grow babies. If you had the option to become a mother without ever having to physically carry the child or go through the pain of childbirth, would you choose to do so?
Yes. Is that not adoption?
Why?
I would do it.
Why?
First of all, what if you pick the wrong person to have a child with in the first place? That would be my fear.
Pause. Look, she even knows what she said was stupid. Like, she's just like, even her friend's like, bitch, you tripping. Like, she didn't think about it. She just like, yes. And then, like, here's the thing. Like, a lot of girls like this, like, they're used to, like, giving a dumbass answer and not being questioned. Well, okay, well, tell me, why did you pick that? And you're like, oh, shit, now I got to actually justify and
I'm now going
rationalize
to be
what the
held
fuck I said
accountable
with
for
some
my
logic.
actions, but women are never held accountable for their actions. So it's not your fault if you fuck the wrong guy. They need to know that you shouldn't have put yourself in that situation in the first place. If a man does that, if a man gets the wrong bitch pregnant, you're like, bro, why didn't you just pull out? What are you doing? You wildin'. You don't apply the same logic to women.
Childbirth can be traumatizing for a lot of people. It can be dangerous, especially if you don't have the right health care. So why would you want to put yourself through that if you know there's a safer option?
So if artificial surrogates became commonplace, would that diminish women's role?
No, because they would still need.
Well, in other words, if women and men were reduced to egg and sperm donors, would that make women no longer special?
Damn.
No, because you still need an egg and a sperm.
Well, right, but I mean, would that make women any more special than it would make a man? Because they're both basically donating DNA. Women would be no longer they would no longer be the ones carrying a child.
See, the way society is set up, though, it would still be put on the women because men are viewed higher in society.
I think a lot of women would still choose to have the babies themselves.
That's so false. Women are viewed higher in society by far. 100%. Women
are not valued. Yeah, women are.
Women inherently have value, and that's fine. It's been that way since the beginning of time because if you have, one dude and 100 women, you could populate a society, but you can't do it the other way around, which is why historically, since the beginning of time, they've always said women and children off the boat first, etc. Because men are the more expendable sex. I mean, that's why men are sent to war and women aren't. Like, so I don't know what the fuck she's talking about, saying like men are looked at higher in the society. Correction. A fraction of the men are looked at as higher in the society, and that's a minority of men that control a majority of the wealth. But see, here's the thing also is that going back to that apex fallacy, women will sit there and say, oh, men control all the wealth in the world, blah, blah, blah. Well, okay, that's a great way to look at it. But a majority of the poor people are also men. A majority of people that suffer from mental health are also men. A majority of homeless guys are men. So it's like, but the majority of people that die in doing manual labor are men. So it's like, men almost always either benefit or suffer at the at the extreme ends of the bell curve, right? In the average, though, women tend to thrive in there. Like if you take the average female with the average guy, the average female is typically smarter or higher IQ. But if you look at the most intelligent people, they're almost always men. If you look at the stupidest people, they're almost also always men. But women always look at it from the negative perspective of like, oh, these guys make money. Okay, but all the poorest people are men though as well.
Society.
I think a lot of women would still choose to have the babies themselves to feel closer, so probably not.
Okay. If women and men were reduced to egg and sperm donors, would that make women no longer special?
Yes.
I guess if only you did that and nobody had children, then yeah, I guess.
Why is society engineering women out of the equation?
I have no idea.
I think they're just
Because there's so much to put up with around not that much.
might be more either efficient or easier ways to do stuff. I mean, childbirth before modern medicine, like the mortality rate was pretty high. So like if you take kind of that factor away, it's safer for like both mother and child.
Let me ask you a question. If men can impregnate several women a day, but women can only get pregnant once every 9 months maximum, why does the birth control fall to be the woman's responsibility?
That's a good point, but my question is, why are there more birth control options for women than there are for men?
If we're talking about hormonal, there's the...
Because we know they're worse at making decisions. There's a reason why there's no birth control for men yet. There's no way they couldn't engineer that. If they can have surrogates and you can get another woman pregnant with another seed and egg, all the science going on, there's got to be a deliberate reason why you can't just nuke your sperm.
It's very simple. Like that feminist asked a very stupid question. The reason why women have birth control and people have taken like there's more, how do I say this? There's more interest in giving women birth control, etc., is because women are the carriers of the child, so therefore they inherently take on more risk. Since they take on more risk, they are afforded better options with dealing with said risk. It's simple. Like that was a dumbass question from that chick, and she clearly doesn't understand biology. Yes, there's a reason. The reason why birth control is predominantly focused towards women is because women take the risk. Since women take the risk with bearing children, society looked at it like, okay, y'all are the ones taking the risk. Let's give you more of the benefit, more of the leverage, and more of the what? Fucking power. Because you guys are the ones that take the risk.
The pill, there's the Nuva ring, there's an IUD, there's the implant. Oh, the IUD has a copper or hormonal option, so it's both. We can also use barrier methods like a condom, a female condom, a dental dam, but that's right now only for...
I think it's Tommy Sotomayor always used to say on our show, there's more forms of female birth control than flavors at Baskin-Robbins. Like 31 forms of female contraception versus for men, there's only a few. So, and there's a reason for that.
What is it for men besides
like a
getting
condom, vasectomy, and I don't really know what else.
Masculinity Archive, boys, one now I'm not even reading.
But it can be changed.
It's not even.
Abstinence is technically a form of birth control as well.
Is pulling out a form?
Technically, pulling out as a form is a really low success rate.
Bitch said pulling out as a form of contraception.
What about for men?
You know it should be going well.
There's barrier methods for men, and they have been trying to. There's vasectomies. They have been trying.
Does she have AIDS?
Who? Why do you think?
That lesion.
Yeah, I don't know. She probably got like fucking. I think she got a hickey, bro. Some dude was sucking on them titties.
Well, it's like inverted though.
To develop hormonal options for men, but they're like The side effects are apparently too much for men to handle.
Why are there more forms of birth control for women than men?
Because it was always placed on the women to control. It was okay for a man to sleep with women, but it was not okay for a woman to sleep with a man. So they're like, you got to control it.
It's easier for a man to get a vasectomy because he can get it reversed.
Cheaper.
But a woman has to go through hoops and fire to be able to have birth control or to get a hysterectomy.
And even then, like the birth control itself,
It's like really bad for us, and
Hoops
it
and
causes us
fire?
a lot of problems, like physical.
Also, birth control is demonic. It makes women unbelievably
Birth control is extremely easy to
emotional.
get. It's not that expensive.
But it
a lot
fucks
of
up their
insurance.
whole
No, it does.
hormones,
It does.
bro.
But they're trying to act. They're trying to make it sound like getting birth control is difficult.
It's not.
It's very easy. A lot of
Takes 5
insurance
seconds.
companies cover it actually. So that's
Physically
not
and
that's
mentally.
not correct.
Why is there more birth control options for women than there is for men?
I think there just hasn't been a lot of research done through it, to be completely honest with you. I think a lot of it has to do with it just...
That's how it is, and so that's how it stays. And like I think that a lot of men are unwilling to do something for birth control because
Don't you think that if there was a birth control pill for men, men would be all over that?
I would hope so. If it gave the same effects, then you could be like, okay, hey.
I wouldn't want Big Pharma to fuck with my hormones, personally.
yeah,
understand it, definitely.
I've heard a lot of men talk about like birth control pills for men, and they often say things like, "But I don't want to put like hormones in my body," or like, "I don't want it to change my body," but then don't understand that the birth control that we take does the same thing.
It's also bad.
Why are women?
Buzz, the reason why it doesn't matter is because there's no burden of performance on women. I know that might sound fucked up, but there is no burden of performance on women.
What do you mean?
If what I mean by that is, like, if a guy's hormones get fucked up and he can't perform, well, guess what? His value in society is diminished significantly. If a woman doesn't perform, no one cares. If she's hot enough, someone will come and rescue her. There's a reason why 18, 19, 20-year-olds that haven't accomplished shit on life are on a yacht with millionaires and billionaires, because women are valued for different things than men are. Women don't have to accomplish anything to have high sexual market value, versus men do. So there isn't a burden of performance on women. I've always said it. If a girl wants to go out there and get an education, make money, etc., that's fantastic. It's a plus, but no one really gives a shit. Just like if a guy decides, let me be super fashionable, wear Louis Vuitton all over the place, have a huge shoe collection, and be, dripped out all the fucking time like SNEAKO, that's cool, but it's not like girls' vaginas get wet because you're a snappy dresser. Most women would look at it like, that's good for you, but how does that really help me? I don't give a fuck, So it's the same exact thing. A man that dresses well offers almost no utility to a woman, just like a woman that makes a lot of money offers no utility to a man. It's something that the opposite gender is like, that's good for you, but who gives a shit? So that's what I mean.
The stronger sex when it comes to birthing children, but conveniently the weaker sex when it comes to risking rejection, needing sympathy and validation, killing spiders, opening jars, lifting heavy objects, and fighting wars.
Just because, like I said, it's men and women, masculine and feminine, okay? Ask yourself this. Would you like a masculine-ass woman? It turns me on when my girl asks me to kill the spider or open the jar. Like, it makes me feel like a man. Some of them don't even need it. They just do it to boost our egos. Men are very egotistical. You know what I'm saying? It works together when you find the right woman. 100%.
Nobility says, all birth control arguments can be avoided if they force men to wear condoms before smashing. So simple, but no accountability.
Yeah, that too. But it is what it is.
That's it.
Your job?